Do you know the effects that caffeine has on your sleep? Do you want to learn more about how you can improve your sleep in very, very simple steps? Then continue watching this video. Hey brethren, and welcome back to another video on the RVALUED channel. I hope you are doing well. In this video, I'm going to just drop a few awesome insights that I want you to learn and want you to gain when it comes to the use of caffeine, caffeine consumption, as well as how you can improve your sleep, because they work together, okay? Caffeine and sleep are two things that we need to look at, synergistically. We need to look at them together, okay? Because I suppose that many of us are consuming caffeine on a daily or at least weekly basis, but only a few of us know that caffeine has, serious effects on our sleep, okay, if we don't use it the correct way. And in this video, I want to show you, okay, what are the ways that you can utilize caffeine in so that it does not harm your sleep, but actually help you to, achieve a greater performance in whatever you're doing. Okay, so if you're a student watching this, caffeine certainly helps you to achieve better grades if it allows you to study for longer periods of time, if it allows you to study more focused. If you're someone who's building a business, an entrepreneur, then caffeine is probably a part of your day, because caffeine is something that just excites us. It helps us to get up and get motivated, and it boosts our mood. And if you're just a human being like I, then caffeine is certainly something that you have common touch with. Now here's the deal with caffeine. I'm just going to blast it out, because I'm extremely inspired right now. I didn't even plan on making this video, but I, am trying to learn more every day about, the topics: sleep, nutrition, training, workouts, in specific, heavy lifting or lifting in general, and then, mindset and things of that nature. So I'm trying to improve myself, or, gain a better understanding of certain things, of these certain topics. In general, biohacking and high performance is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And, I just learned a few more things, and I also want to repeatedly say the things that I already know that can help you to improve your sleep. So let's jump right into it. So the thing about caffeine is, and many of us do not know this, caffeine has what we call half-life of 5 to 8 hours. What that means is simply that if you consume a cup of coffee at noon, 12 p.m., 6 hours later, or 5 to 8 hours, but we're going to go with 6 hours for this example. 6 hours later, you still have 50% of that cup of coffee going strong in your bloodstream. Okay, so if you drink a cup of coffee with 200 milligrams of caffeine, you'll still have 100 milligrams of caffeine 6 hours later in your bloodstream. Now, caffeine has something that we call a half-life, a quarter life of 12 hours. So 12 hours later, after you consumed that amount of caffeine, you'll still have 25%, a quarter of that caffeine in your bloodstream. Now, this is significant and important, because this shows us that caffeine not only has, an immediate effect on our body, but even it has an effect on our body that, on our bodies in that case, that lasts for way longer than just a few hours, perhaps even days. Okay, so caffeine is slowly metabolized, and it takes a lot of time until all of that caffeine is completely, out of your body. So just know that when you consume a cup of coffee, and the thing is, many of us consume multiple cups of coffee during the day, or, caffeinated beverages, energy drinks, or, other drinks that contain caffeine. So, or even teas. Many teas have a lot of caffeine, or contain something that we call theine. And when we don't restrain ourselves from consuming caffeine later in the day, it will mess with our sleep. Studies have shown, and I say this in a lot of my videos, I don't remember the exact studies sometimes, I just read them and then I kind of forget about them, but information that really sticks out to me, I kind of remember it. So one study that I read about was that, and has shown that when you drink a cup of coffee, and you drink it 6 hours before before you go to bed, it decreases your deep sleep by 10 to 15%, or 10 to 20% in fact. So I would have to age you by 10 to 15 years in order to reduce that amount of deep sleep. Now, sleep has a number of benefits, and I could not list all of the benefits that sleep has in this one video. And that's why I want to tell you, hey, please check out the future videos on this channel, because we're going to talk more about sleep. We are going to talk more about the benefits that true high quality sleep has on you, and also how you can implement certain habits into your day, into your daily life, to make the most out of you and your health, reduce stress, optimize performance, and that kind of stuff. Now, deep sleep in particular has many benefits. Okay, you will feel a lot more refreshed in the morning when you get a good amount of deep sleep. Now, the problem with today's society is that we don't really value sleep, and we value work. Now, the problem with that is that when we value work more than we value effectivity, then we are going to, run into a bad situation, because effectivity is more important than work. I mean, what's better? Waking up in the morning and, if you'd have to choose, waking up in the morning and working from 9 to 5 and running on 70% of your potential, or getting a good night of sleep, showing up at work and performing at 90% of your performance. Okay, you could easily spare 1 hour of your time at work and save it if you just sleep enough and consume caffeine the right way, which is to consume it about before noon or 2 p.m. for the most people. Okay, especially if you're caffeine sensitive, try to use caffeine very early in the morning to maximize the benefits. Also, get some sunlight. Sunlight has so many benefits on you, and it affects your inner clock, your suprachiasmatic nucleus, that sits kind of where your pineal gland is, in the hypothalamus. So to kind of bring it full circle, consume caffeine in the morning so you don't have to sacrifice your sleep and the quality of sleep that you are having. And another thing that many of us don't know is that, in general, how caffeine works. And it's so interesting. Our brains have certain receptors, and where these receptors are adenosine wants to plug in so it can, start the processes in your body, such as, just an increased kind of fatigue in your body, and you feel more tired and drowsy. This is good because we want that kind of drowsiness and fatigue in the evening or at night, so that we can initiate sleep. But the problem is, when we drink caffeine, it kind of blocks these receptors. So where adenosine would dock in, adenosine is no longer able to dock in if caffeine was consumed, because our brains don't really understand or see the difference between adenosine and caffeine. So where adenosine was able to dock in at the receptors, when you consume caffeine, it docks in where the receptors are. So now adenosine, the thing that once made you really tired and helped you to follow your natural circadian rhythm, is going to be vanished in a sense, because now caffeine is doing its work where adenosine was doing its work earlier. Okay, so it's very interesting. It's very interesting how caffeine works. It kind of tricks your brain. So many of us don't really understand the way caffeine works, and we just continue drinking caffeinated beverages without seeing the consequences that it can have on us if we don't stop it either regularly or if we don't stop using it after a period of time or after a certain hour of the day. So what I would recommend you is think about your caffeine consumption and try to stop drinking caffeine after noon or 2 p.m. This would be pretty good. Ideally, you want to stop drinking caffeine 16 hours before bedtime. That would be ideal. Now, other than that, I didn't finish the thought with the adenosine or the adenosine. When you don't realize that your body is fatigued and tired and drowsy because you drunk caffeine and consume caffeine, you will keep on running. You will keep on running and ignoring the signs that your body is trying to show you. So your body is tired, but mentally you're not that tired because you consume caffeine. So caffeine is crazy and it's such a big topic, and I would love to talk more about it in the future. But for now, just know that you can take caffeine breaks, and studies have shown that when you take a break of caffeine for 3 days after 2 days of consumption, you're back at day 0. If you really want to get the most benefits out of caffeine, what I want you to do is quit drinking caffeine in general. Okay, I think 3 weeks ago, 21 days ago, about 21 days ago, I started drinking caffeine again. But before that, I stopped drinking caffeine for like 3 months. So I was not consuming caffeine at all. And I noticed significant benefits. And when I started drinking caffeine again through my morning cup of coffee, I saw such tremendous benefits from caffeine because I didn't utilize it on a daily basis. And when you utilize caffeine only when you really need it before an event, or before an event where you need to perform at your maximum, when you utilize caffeine in that manner, only before you really need to accomplish something big or get a project done, then you will see tremendous benefits. Okay, and you will not suffer from any sleep problems or any problems with your sleep. So that's cool. That's really cool. So stop drinking caffeine for a while if you feel led to do it, and see how it's going to affect you. What I like to do is I like to drink caffeine for 2 months every day, but I stick below and stay below 200 milligrams per day, and I only drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning about 7 to 8 a.m. And then I just I continue doing this for 2 months, and then I stop drinking caffeine for a full month. That's how I like to handle it, because that helps me to just completely regenerate and get my body the time it needs to completely rest and reset. So this is just a little bit, and it was 30 minutes or 12 minutes long, this video, but that's just a little bit. So I hope this video blessed you and helped you. Again, to bring it full circle, stop drinking caffeine as early as possible. Take caffeine breaks if necessary, and I'm certain it is necessary. And also, understand how caffeine works. Okay, understand how caffeine works. And if you really want to understand how caffeine works, then stay tuned for the next videos, because we're going to talk more about sleep. Alright, my friend, thank you for watching this video. See you next Tuesday, and I hope you're having a blessed week, man. Stay strong. Peace out. Be encouraged.